Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Vault of the Vampire by Keith Martin. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 227. I'd met a man and I was about to decide whether to attack him or to talk with him. We are going to talk with him, and that means we're going to turn to 397. Okay, have you met Katerina Heydrich yet? If you have and you agree to kill Lothar for her, turn to 345. If you have and you refuse to do this or attacked her, turn to 291. If you haven't met her, turn to 247. Okay, we have not met her, so we're going to turn to 247. Okay, you tell Lothar of your quest, to kill Rainer and rescue Nastasia. Lothar seems a trustworthy man. It is not only the Count you must beware. Keep away from Katerina. His sister is every bit as evil as he is. If Rainer were slain, I think that Gunther, that's Rainer's brother, the healer, if you haven't met him, and I could deal with her. But you shouldn't make a hard task impossible by tangling with her as well. He tells you that her rooms are beyond the west door at the north end of the corridor outside, and you make a note not to go in there. Lothar also says that he has some items which will improve greatly your chances of success. Turn to 116. Whoops, too far. Okay, here we go. Lothar asks you to turn round while he gets something from a wall alcove with a secret door. He comes back with a bunch of keys and a wooden stake with a silver-tipped point. These will get you into the Count's rooms, he says, handing over the Castellan's keys. Add these to your possessions. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, Castellan's keys. Let's go on a new line. Add these to your possessions. The Count sleeps in the crypt, but the crypt key is in his rooms to the south. You'll need to go south and open the door at the end of the corridor outside. The silvered stake, he explains, can destroy the Count as he sleeps in his coffin. Add this also to your possessions. Okay, silvered stake. Table stakes. Okay. Lothar puzzles for a moment, then says to you, I've overheard the Count mutter to himself about something he's hidden not far away with a magical lock on it. Forward and back, he said, forward and back. He repeated that several times and then laughed to himself. I don't know what he could have meant, but he surely meant something by it. He may be evil, but he isn't mad. This story makes no sense to you now, but who knows what you may find later. Okay, so let's note that down. Where can we note that? Oops, I put did destroy there. Okay, so let's note that down here. I'll put it in quotation marks. Whoops. Done it again. I'll keep pressing the slash button instead of the shift button, that's why. Okay, forward. No, still can't spell. Forward. Or type properly. Still can't do it. Forward and back. There we go. Fantastic. Right. Okay. You thank Lothar for his invaluable help, wish him well, and follow his directions to the door at the south end of the corridor outside. Turn to 319. Okay, 319. The large door here is locked. Do you have the Castellan's keys? If you do, turn to 87. If you don't, you can't open the door, so you give up and try the east door nearby. Turn to 227. Okay, we just got the keys, so and we're going to turn to 87. Here we go. Okay, You push past the unlocked door and find yourself standing on a stone balcony overlooking the courtyard. This balcony stretches to east and west of you and also continues round towards the south at its eastern edge. There are 3 other doors leading away from the balcony. One door is to your right and clearly leads into a chamber next to the southwestern tower. If you want to open this door, turn to 128. A second door is halfway along the southern spur on the east side. If you want to open this door, turn to 302. The final door is at the extreme south of the balcony, furthest away from you. If you want to open this door, turn to 244. Okay, we're going to open the second door halfway along the southern spur. So turn to 302. Okay, here we go. You find the lock. The key slides smoothly in and the door opens readily. The room beyond is well lit. There are carpets on the floor, pew-like benches, and on the eastern side opposite you a great pipe organ, its sides obscured by heavy purple and black wall hangings. A set of massive silvered candlesticks, dozens of them, stands to one side of the organ. You can also see a door in the north wall of this music room. As you enter to investigate this, a dismal droning arises from the organ, although it has no player. As you wonder what is happening, a scurrying and scratching noise begins, and you see that the balcony outside is swarming with black rats. Vile things with fierce, sharp yellow teeth, which are said to carry the plague, and they're heading towards you. Will you close this door and stay inside the organ room? Turn to 391. Run for the north door in this room. Turn to 335. Try to silence the organ somehow. Turn to 37. Or leave this room and make a run for the door at the south end of the balcony. Turn to 171. Okay, we're going to run for the north door in this room, so turn to 335. Here we go. Roll 1 die. If you roll 1 to 2, you are bitten once. 3 to 4, and you are wounded twice. 5 to 6 means you sustain 3 rat bites. For each bite, you must deduct 1 stamina point before you get to the north door and slam it shut behind you to keep the rats out, if you are still alive. Okay, so let's do that now. We need the dice program. The old trusty dice program. We need a 6-sided one. The hexahedron, also known as the cube. Or rather, the regular hexahedron. There are other hexahedra, such as the cuboid. But that's not a regular one. Anyway, enough of that. So we need to roll 1 die. And we get a 2. That means we have to subtract 1 stamina point. So let's do that immediately. So that puts us down to 12. Jubbly. As this is a new paragraph, I'll use some provisions. That'll put me back up to 16 again. That's quite nice. But I'm only allowed to use 1 per paragraph. So I'm on 16 at the moment. There we go. Okay, so turn to 361. Here we go. Use the scroll wheel on my mouse for this one. Okay, you stand in a workroom of some kind. There are unfamiliar tools on tables and workbenches, prisms and lenses mounted in iron rings, and small caskets made of sandalwood and other exotic and aromatic woods. Searching around, you deduce this may have been a jeweller's workroom. Certainly, you find a tiny silver and amethyst pin worth 2 gold pieces. Add this to your treasure. Let's do that now. Oh, that puts us to 2 gold from naught. Okay. And some bars of silver which, alas, are too heavy to carry. The rats are still scurrying around outside, so you have time to make a really thorough search. You are in luck. In a secret drawer in a desk, you find a magical ring of regeneration. Add this to your possessions, which you can slip on your finger. The ring surges with power whenever you land the killing blow in a battle, and you may regain 2 stamina points. Oh, and you may regain 2 stamina points. However, this ring does not work during a combat, only at the end of one which you have just won. Okay, so let's write that down, or type it down, whatever. Okay, Ring of Regeneration. Oh, did it in one go without a typo. And then I'll put +2. Whoops, didn't do that. Shouldn't have done that. To stamina at the end of a battle. Comma and new line. Okay, so every time we land the killing blow on an enemy that we fought, we get 2 stamina points as a bonus. That's quite nice. But only after we win. We can't use it we can't use it during a battle. Okay, have you met Gunther Heydrich? If you have not, turn to 289. If you have, roll 2 dice and add 2 to the total. If the result is less than or equal to your skill, turn to 312. If the result is greater than your skill, turn to 289. Okay, we have met. Have you met Gunther Heydrich? If you have not, if you have, turn to, or rather, roll 2 dice. Yeah, so we need to roll 2 dice, and the result needs to be less than or equal to our skill. What's our skill? 11. So we need to roll 2 dice. It needs to be less than or equal to 11. Okay, so 2 dice needed, and we get 11. So we just made it. That's less than or equal to 11. So we need to turn to 312. So that was close. We could have lost that, but 1 out of 36 chance. Because only a 12 could have lost that. Anyway, 312. Glad I remember that actually. I lost the paragraph. Anyway, something nags at your mind about the size of the room you are in. You guess that it is next to Gunther's, and you know where Lothar's rooms are, and there is a missing room in the area, if your hunch is right. Checking the west wall very carefully, you find your hunch is right. There is a secret door here. You open it, and use your lantern to peer into the darkened room beyond. This bare room contains only a pinewood coffin. You walk in and tip it over, breaking the wood with the hilt of your sword and scattering the black earth within it over the floor. Record in the notes box of your adventure sheet that you have destroyed one of Rainer Heydrich's coffins and gain 1 faith point, 10 to 289. Okay. Yeah, so we need to put this up to 2, and then we need to add a faith point because we've got to have faith. Something touch your body. All right, so our faith is at 11 now. That's quite nice, and we've destroyed 2 coffins, and now we're turning to 289. Always remember that faith can go above the initial value. All right, 289. Here we are. After a while, the rats retreat to their lair, wherever that may be. You re-emerge onto the balcony and head for the door at the south end of it. Turn to 244. Okay, you use the Castellan's keys to open the door and enter a reception room, lavishly decorated with comfortable armchairs, a chaise-longue thing, and scattered cushions. That must be a type of chair, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. Because I don't speak French. Anyway, a chaise-longue and scattered cushions. This is a very comfortable place. There are some decanters of wine, which could be refreshing, and some sweet round sponge biscuits topped with thin dark chocolate. Yummy. Which look appetizing. Or you could just head straight for the door in the west wall of this room. Will you try the red wine? Turn to 137 rather. Try the white wine, turn to 53. Why did I think that was 139? Try the biscuits, turn to 4, or head for the west door. We are going to head for the west door and not try anything, so turn to 45. Okay. You push open the door into Count Rainer Heydrich's living room. Rich walnut wall panelling and oak furniture tell you that he is a creature of taste at least. But you have no time to dwell on details, for 2 of his pets are racing to attack. A vicious vampire weasel and an evil-looking leathery winged horned vampire bat. Fight the bat normally, Every attack round when you are fighting the bat, you must also roll 1 die in addition to normal combat dice. If the result of this die roll is 5 or 6, the hateful little weasel has sunk its fangs into your leg. Lose 2 stamina points because of this bite. Worse still, the weasel sucks your blood. For every subsequent attack round, the blood drain causes you to lose 1 stamina point. Once you kill the bat, the weasel runs away, but if it has bitten you, you lose a further 3 stamina points before the bleeding stops. If the bat bites you twice, turn it once to 85. If you win, turn to 135. Okay, skill 8, stamina 7. Let's do this. Okay, so horned vampire bat. Let's write that in. Skill 8, stamina 7. So we have to roll another dice, another die roll every time because of the weasel. But it shouldn't be too bad because my skill is at 11, so this shouldn't be too bad. Mainly it's the weasel that will be the biggest problem, I think. Anyway, so yeah, roll 2 dice for its attack, blah blah blah. Okay, it gets a 7, that's 15 overall, so 15, I get a 7, that's 18. So 15 to 18, I win. Goes down to 5. Lovely, and I must roll another die for the weasel. So, what was the rule for the weasel? If it's a 5 or 6, the hateful little weasel has sunk its fangs into your leg. Right, so I don't want a 5 or a 6. So, it's a 4, good. Right, okay. Righto, next thing is put the book back up because that's the main thing. Okay, so we want to do the attack round again. So he gets a 6, that's a 13. So 13, I get a 10, that's 21. So 13 to 21, I win again. No, wait a minute. 6 plus... its skill is 8, not 7, so it's 14. So it's 14 to 21, but it wouldn't have made much difference anyway. I think I remember that for the last one, because that was 7 for the last one, wasn't it? Yeah, so 21, so I win again, good. Yeah, so it wasn't 13, it was 14 attack strength, because skill is 8 and not 7. I thought the skill was 8 for some reason. Anyway, and now we have to roll for the weasel. So down to 1, and we get a 4, that means the weasel still hasn't bitten us. Remember, if we get attacked by, if the bat wins 2 attack rounds at any one time, you know, if it wins 2, not in any order, doesn't matter. Just if it ever wins a second attack round, we have to turn to 85 immediately. Anyway, so yeah, so we didn't get bitten by the weasel either. Good. Okay, so let's roll again for the bat. It gets a 5, that's 13. I get a 4, that's 15. So 13 to 15, I win again. Good. I want to get this over and done with as quickly as possible, really, because the weasel could get me at any point. Luckily, it just needs 1 more hit now. So weasel gets a 4, so that means he still hasn't bitten me. Good. Okay, so let's do the last attack round. He gets a 2, that's a 10. I get a 3, that's 14. So 10 to 14, that means he's dead. We still have to do the final weasel thing, because this is an attack round, so we don't want a 5 or 6. Let me get a 6, lovely. Okay, so that means the weasel has taken off... Yes, put it up. That means the weasel has taken off how many? 2 stamina points. And because it's the end of the battle, we also have to lose another 3 stamina points. But, you know, he does another stamina point every round, subsequent round, after it attacks you. So that's none, because we've already won. So 2 stamina points, that takes us down to 14. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. That takes us down to 14. And another 3 stamina points takes us down to 11, because we've been bitten by the weasel. Let's use some provisions to get us back up to 15, because we've lost some health. That puts us down to 15 provisions. Lovely. Okay, so the vampire bat didn't win any attack rounds, so we don't have to turn to 85. We've taken away the 2 stamina points for the weasel for the first time it bites us. Well, if it bites us, 2 stamina points. We didn't lose any 1 stamina points because it only bit us on the last attack round, and we lost the 3 stamina points because that's the end of the fight, and the weasel did hurt us at least once. Okay, so now we're turning to 135. It's quite a convoluted fight, that one. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's the weasel that will cause the biggest problems, really, unless your skill is really low, in which case the vampire bat probably will as well. Okay, you search this room and pick up some small trinkets worth four gold pieces. Add these to your treasure. Okay, 4 gold pieces. That puts us up to 6 again. Good, we're in the money. We have some money with which to play around. There is only one other door in this room, in the west wall, so you decide to open it. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 315. If you're unlucky, turn to 253. Okay. So we need to test our luck. So our luck at the moment is 10. So we need this dice roll, 2 dice, to be less than or equal to 10 in order to be lucky. We get an 8, that means we're lucky, good. But it means that we have to put our luck down to 9 now because we've used a luck point. So we were lucky, but we've lost a luck point regardless. Okay, you still have to lose a luck point even if you were unlucky, by the way. So it's just best if you're lucky all round, really. Anyway, we were lucky, so turn to 315. Okay, as you unlock the door, a small sharp blade whips out from the door frame and narrowly misses, inflicting a very unpleasant wound on your hand. Gain 1 luck point for this good fortune. You push the door open, turn to 382. Well, they called it good fortune, but really it's bad fortune in that it was there in the first place. So really the luck is sort of equalised, if you know what I mean. But anyway, regardless of that, we have to put our luck back to 10 because we gained a luck point, so we're back to 10 again. Good. Okay, 382. So if we're lucky, we just doesn't really do anything. It's just if we're unlucky, we probably lose some health, maybe a skill point because it's on our hand, I'd say, and a luck point. Anyway, 382. Off we go. Lovely jubbly. Okay, you enter the Count's bedroom. There it is. Picture of them there. Lovely. You enter the Count's bedroom, a nightmare of garish horror. A large mahogany coffin with silver hinges and handles stands in the centre on a high wooden table, surrounded by black and crimson coverings. On the walls, tapestries and paintings. No, I'll start again. On the walls, tapestries and paintings show the Count's ancestors, all with the black hair and widow's peak, which betrays their vampiric nature. Right, next time I see someone with black hair and a widow's peak, they're definitely a vampire. I know that now because this book just told me so. Right. Some are shown gloatingly draining their victims of blood, and one even stands next to a fire demon. They seem to glower with menace at you as you look in. Walking round the room, you also find a locked safe underneath a second table, and a writing desk with 2 drawers and a pile of neatly stacked vellum and quills on top. Fearfully, you move to the coffin and throw it over. The wood splinters, the top falls off, and rich black earth cascades over the floor. You smash the coffin lid with the hilt of your sword. Record in the notes box on your adventure sheet that you have destroyed one of Rainer Heydrich's coffins and gain 1 faith point. Okay, so we've done another coffin, so put it up to 3. And we need to gain another faith point, which puts it up to 12. Lovely. Okay, now will you open the safe, turn to 271, open the first desk drawer, turn to 392, or open the second desk drawer, turn to 336. Okay, we're going to open this. We're going to open the safe first of all. I don't know how we can do that without the combination, but we're going to open it regardless. Okay, 271. Okay, you unlock the Count's safe. Inside you find a pile of credit notes, all bearing Rainer Heydrich's signature, but these have no value to you. Worse luck. Rummaging around among the papers, you lay your hands on a large black iron key, the key to the crypt where the evil vampire dwells. Add the crypt key to your possessions. Okay. Crypt key. There we go. Lovely. Oh yeah, wait a minute. We didn't use the Ring of Regeneration after the Horned Vampire Bat, did we? I forgot about that. Yes, that gives us another 2 stamina points. I knew I'd forgotten to do something after that fight. Yeah, because we defeated the Horned Vampire Bat, and we have the Ring of Regeneration, we get a +2 stamina at the end of it. It only doesn't work if we lose the battle, but then we lose the whole book, the whole game book anyway. So after we win every battle, unless we lose the game, we get another 2 Stamina points. Yeah, I forgot about that. That puts us up to 17. That's nice. Anyway, we have the crypt key. Yeah, so for all of you who are shouting at me, who are shouting at the screen, going, "You forgot to use the Ring of Regeneration." I've done it now. Okay. Yeah, add the crypt key to your possessions. Now roll 1 die and add 3 to the number rolled. If the result is less than or equal to your faith, turn to 98. If the result is greater than your faith, turn to 46. So roll 1 die, not much point really because we're guaranteed to win. So we get a 4, add 3 is 7, and that's less than or equal to 12. So the result was less than or equal to our faith, so turn to 98. Pardon me. Okay, 98. It really is difficult to remember to do everything in this, in these books. Okay. The hairs on the nape of your neck rise as you sense that something intensely evil is in the room. Spinning around, you see a green, ghostly human shape beginning to take form in the doorway. You cannot run, combat is inevitable, but you do have time to perform one action of some kind before you are forced to fight. You have time to wolf down some food or a potion to regain lost stamina if you are able, or you could take a swing at the spectre with your sword. If you wish to strike at the undead thing, turn to 3. If you want to perform some other action, decide what that will be, then turn to 117. Oh, okay, so we can't wolf down some food and strike at the undead thing. We have to do one, because it said or. So we're going to strike at the undead thing. So we're going to turn to 3. So we can't eat something before we go to 3. Do you have a magic sword? If you do, turn to 173. If you don't, turn to 208. Okay, we do have a magic sword. Because it's right there. There it is, magic sword. So, we are going to turn to 173. There we go. You wound the spectre before it can fully materialize. Turn to 298 to finish the fight, and you may subtract 2 from the stamina total given there for the spectre as a result of this initial blow. So turn to 298 and we can subtract 2 stamina from it. 298, here we go. The ancient undead creature has an elemental malice and brooding hatred of living creatures which will not be affected by your faith, and it will fight to the last. Spectre, skill 10, stamina 14. If you win, you will leave and make for the crypt, but first you must roll 1 die. If you roll a 6, turn to 389. If you roll any other number, turn to 354. Okay, so Spectre 10, 14. Okay. No, don't need a thing on that one. The skill isn't going down, is it? A comma, I mean. And 14. But remember that we got an initial blow on it, so we subtract 2 immediately. Okay, which is good. Okay, our skill is at 11, so we are at an advantage, but a slight advantage. This could still do some major damage on me. Okay, roll for the Spectre first. He gets a 6, that's 16. I get a 7, that's 18. So 16 to 18. That was close. But he goes down to 10 because I get another hit in on him. Okay, next one. He gets an 11. Whoops. Yeah, that's 21. I get a 5. That's 16. Yeah, I knew he'd do damage. 21 to 16. Okay, so that puts my stamina down to 15. Don't forget I can use the Ring of Regeneration after this battle, assuming I win, to get some more to get 2 stamina points back. Okay, so. Okay, next attack round, he gets an 8, that's 18, I get an 8, that's 19. Oh good, the 1 point advantage was handy there. Okay, so I get 19, that puts him down to 8, lovely. Okay, he gets a 9, that's 19, I get a 4, that's 15. So 19 to 15. That puts me down to 13. Okay, Okay, he gets a 4, that's 14. I get an 11, that's 22. So 14 to 22. A little bit overkill there, but I'll take it. 14 to 22. So that puts him down to 6. Okay, 3 more hits. He gets a 3, that's 13, that's good. I get an 8, that's 19. So 13 to 19. 13 to 19, that was good. Right, always nice when they get a low number at the start. Puts him down to 4, just 2 more hits now and he's dead. Okay, he gets a 6, that's 16. I get a 5, that's 16. So that's equal. So he still needs 2 more hits. Yeah, when it's a draw, there's no one gets a hit in. Okay, so he gets an 8, that's 18. I get an 8, that's 19. That's exactly what happened 2 things ago, wasn't it? Yeah, it happened in the third one, 18 to 19. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Anyway, that puts him down to 2. And so just 1 more hit now and he's gone. Okay, he gets an 11, that's 21. I get a 9, that's 20. So he just beats me this time, so 21 to 20. He just beats me on that, so he still needs 1 more hit, and that puts me down to 11. Okay, so I hope this will be the last one. He gets a 5, that's 15. I get an 8, that's 19. Excellent. So 15 to 19, and he's gone. And that's the end of him. Good. That's the end of Mr. Spectre. Right, let's get rid of the buzzing. And, okay, if you win, you will leave and make for the crypt. But first you must roll 1 die. Oh yeah, don't forget, we can use a Ring of Regeneration. I nearly forgot again. But it's immediately up to 13. Because of the Ring of Regeneration. Anyway, yeah, so if you win, you will leave and make for the crypt. First, you must roll 1 die. If you roll a 6, turn to 389. Okay, we need to roll 1 die. So 1 die, and we get a 2. So no 6 there. So what happens if we get a 6? If we don't get a 6? If you roll any other number, turn to 354. Okay. The undead malice of the Spectre has drained away much of your life energy. Deduct 1 point from your skill. Now turn to 389. Fantastic. What happened if we got a 6 then? Alright, so we're down to 10 skill. Never mind. I'll also use some provisions to get me up to 17 stamina. Put that down to 14. Good. Alright, what are we doing now? We're turning to 389. Okay, here we go. You follow the corridor north and then east towards the stairs leading down. Have you fought a minor Thassalos in the castle? If you have, turn to 333. If you haven't, turn to 296. We definitely have because it's on there. There's the minor Thassalos. We defeated it. It got a couple of hits in, but yep, I did definitely defeat it. So turn to 333. Let's use the scroll wheel because I feel like it. 333. Here we go. At the end of the eastern corridor, just before you get to the landing, is the room where you fought the monster. Peering in, you see a chest. It is heavily locked, and with the Castellan's keys you can unlock it, but the wretched lid still won't open. Puzzled, you look at it more closely, and you notice a small silvered plaque with what could be an obscure code of some kind etched on it. Turn to 123. Here we go. Oh, there's the picture of the chest itself. Okay, here we go. There is a group of obscure runes on the plaque. You manage to decode them into letters, but they don't make sense. You guess that they have to spell out some phrase hidden within these letters. Now, let me start again. You guess that they have to spell out some phrase hidden within these letters to release a magical lock on the chest and so release the treasure within. Whatever is in there must be of great value to be protected like this. The letters read blah 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 blah. Simple, isn't it? That's a bit of a dick move there. Simple, isn't it? A little bit of a tease. When you have decoded the transcription, you will know the number referred to there. Turn to the paragraph with the same number to claim the treasure inside the chest, which you can do by whispering the name of the person referred to. If you decide to give up and leave this fine treasure behind, heading for the crypt, turn to 191. Okay, I'm going to get a pen and some paper, and I'm going to see if I can work this out. Okay, right, so there's some gobbledygook there, and let's have a look at the clues we have. Okay, well, one clue we have is forward and back. So let's see what we can. Let's see how we can. apply that clue to this. Now let's try putting the letters. Now what's the first letter is a G. So if we go forward, if we go one letter after G, that's H. And if we go one letter back from F, that's E. So one letter forward from G is H again, one letter back from F is E, and then one letter forward from H is I, and then back is N, so it's he, in, or he, in. The next one that's obviously obviously, because forward is a T, then back is an H, forward is an E. Okay, then next word is answer, because back from B, because the last letter of D, that went forward, so you have to go back on the next one. So it goes A, Q, going forward. So he in the armor of Siegfried. That word is Siegfried because it's going back and then forward. Yeah, you can easily see it's Siegfried. I won't bore you with the details, but this is what it is. He in the armor of Siegfried. The chain mail, because that's an L. The letter after L is M, then back is A, then I, then L. So the chain mail of the valiant one. So third line now. 350 separate links of finest armourer's craft. So that's what it is. So it's he in the armour of Siegfried, the chain mail of the valiant one, 350 separate links of finest armourer's craft. Okay, so I think that we have to turn to 350. So let's turn to 350. Yeah, but that's how you work that out. That's why you need the forward and back clue. That's what it is effectively. It's just forward one letter, and then the next letter is back one letter, the next letter is forward, and then that pattern over and over again. Although the first word is a bit confusing because the he, in, that's, as is written down, is all one word. And when you read, if you do use a clue on it, it might throw you off a bit, because you might think it's he, in, or he, hein, or something, whereas all the other words are separate, but it's he, in. Anyway, you whisper Siegfried's name, and the chest springs open. Inside is a suit of magnificent, gleaming, silvered chainmail. Eagerly, you strip off your own leather armor and don this superior protection. Its seeming weightlessness tells you it is magical. Gain 1 faith point and 1 luck point for this excellent find. Let's do that now. So we need a faith point, that puts it up to 13. Luck, let's put it up to 11. Anything else? The chainmail increases your skill by 1 point, but only during combat. It can increase your skill above its initial level, and if your current luck were 12, your skill is now... Wait a minute. It can increase your skill above its initial level, and if your current luck were 12, your skill is now a full 13 with the superb magical armor. That doesn't make any sense. Surely if it's your current skill were 12. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but it isn't, so I'll just put skill 11. Whoops, been the wrong thing in. 11 for battles. Wait a minute, I'll just put +1 for battle. +1 for battles. +1 for battles. There we go. Okay, so what are we doing now? I don't get that. If your current luck were 12, your skill is now a full 13. I suppose you have to take it as it is. If your luck is 12, your skill is now 13. With this superb magical armor, delighted with your prize, you set off for the crypt. Turn to 191. Okay, so we have Siegfried's armor, or Siegfried's chainmail. Silvered chainmail, I'll call it. Okay. You set off for the crypt, turn to 191. Okay, you reach the landing, hurry down the stairs, and make your way back to the courtyard. You take out the crypt key and head towards the forbidden crypt with its heavy iron railing gates and leering gargoyle heads. A huge shadow looms over you, and you spin around in panic, but it is just a low-flying bat, silhouetted against the moon. The moonlight is a sickly, diseased yellow tonight, and there are other flittering things in the pale light and the shadows round you. Do you have the major lycanthropy affliction? Oh yeah, I looked up that word. Lysine, or whatever I said it was. That isn't a word. That isn't the one for wolf. I was wrong. But lycanthropy does actually mean being a werewolf, so I was wrong about that. Anyway, if you do, turn to 204. If you don't, turn to 43. You do not have, or rather, we do not have the lycanthropy affliction, so we're going to turn to 43. Okay, you insert the great iron key into the massive lock and the heavily barred gate swings open. It is pitch black below and you must have a light source, your lantern or a magic sword if you have one. You descend stone steps covered in dust cut between walls which are cobwebbed and moss covered. The walls have pale decorations and at intervals leering gargoyle faces which seem to be looking at you. Or is that just your imagination? Rats scurry about in the distance. As you step down into a tunnel at the end of the steps, you notice a small pile of bones at which they have been gnawing. They look not unlike human bones. With a shudder, they look... Oh no. With a shudder, you walk on... I need glasses. With a shudder, you walk on until you reach a door, and you open this with your keys. Before you is a corridor in which you can see doors and alcoves in the distance. Now you must test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 147, but if you're unlucky, turn to 91. Okay, that's the end of this video. We will be testing our luck in the next video and descending further into the crypt. So I hope you can join me then. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Next video will probably be the last video, I hope. Might be the last video, might not. I'll see, but I hope it will. If not, I'll definitely do it in the video after that. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.